fashion bitch, bring your cables or your lace. Come join us for Alpaca Face.
Hey.
Hello.
We're going to pretend like we're ready for this today.
Yeah, rarely, if ever, are we actually ready for things. So
Yeah,
I feel like this is very on brand for Alpaca Face.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're a hot mess.
Well, we've been busy.
It is summer.
You've been busy. I have been less busy.
I have been summer parenting.
And camping.
And camping, which also included summer parenting.
That's true.
And yeah, I normally do my summer schedule 3 months in advance so that I don't have to think about it. I can just follow the thing. This is my summer schedule for Allie.
It is chaos.
It is chaos. It is not done. I have to figure that out so that I can do more fun things for myself.
Yes.
I put Aiden on the bus yesterday.
Woohoo! No more 14-year-olds in the house.
Yay. 14-year-old is at camp and safe. So, that all being said, I've been knitting. Oh my God. I started this last week on Friday. And today is what, Thursday?
Yes.
So, if I can finish it by tomorrow, it'll be my 1 week super fast project. It's got crow skulls.
It's very cute.
I have to finish the sleeves. I have to finish the front button band. And then it is done.
Bulky yarn is the best.
It's so good. It's so good. And it's Lopi, so it wasn't expensive either. Isn't it cute? And it's not for me. It's for Isaac's little tiny friend. So even though I could put it on, it'll be like a cute, like wide blocky for her. Because I love it.
I think she'll love it too.
She's going to cry. We're calling it her security blanket for sophomore year.
It's very cute.
Yeah, so she doesn't know it's coming.
You guys can wear them and match.
I know. I'm so excited. And my kids will be like, oh, God. But yeah, that is the Vega pattern with the witching hour color work. So we'll put those in the notes because I stole the idea from Lioness ramping on Ravelry because hers was so cute. I wanted it, so now I've made it twice.
Yeah, the original pattern's beautiful, but it's like a little like diamondy kind of color work on the sleeves instead of the coastal.
So a lot of people, because it's bulky like that, like it's just really fast and easy color work. So that's fun.
Yeah. It'd be a good beginner color work project, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like, with the bulky and it's not like super crazy difficult color work. It's not like, we're going to throw 5 colors into a row. And
right. And they tell you exactly on their chart, you know, you take the color and you make 2 balls so that you have 1 for each side. It's super easy and fun.
Nice.
So hopefully I can sit and focus today and be all excited and say, yay, I finished the whole thing in a week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I finished my test knit. I'm wearing it today. My Alicia Plummer test knit.
It's so cute.
Plenilune tee, which I think is coming out in August. So
it's fun.
Don't have any like fancy photographs of it yet because we're not allowed to post those until it's actually released.
Yeah,
So.
And you can't see so much in
like
the distance
cables
because you're camouflaged. But it's got like little cables right here, and it's really cute.
Yeah. So I love it. It's my like new favorite thing to wear. And yeah, I finished my skirt, my little wrap skirt by Shayna K. Salmon, which I was very excited to finish because
that one's so fun.
much applied I-cord. Oh my God.
I have not done my applied I-cord yet.
Oh, and then I made the matching top. So more applied I-cord.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about your Moondrake because she made this top out of Moondrake Fua Fua. And it's 70% brushed cashmere and 30% superwash merino. So this is it in gray because I don't need to be camouflaged. And we ordered enough for me to make a shirt for myself out of the gray because I needed gray.
Yes.
And it's so squishy and soft and good.
It is the best. It is just like, it is next to Skin Soft, which I am a big advocate for now with my fibromyalgia and like chronic disease and chronic illness and stuff. Like I'm very touch sensitive now, which I did not used to be. Like I was less like fidgety about clothes, and now I'm like, I can't, it's too itchy, it's too hot, it's too something. So now I have to be like extra careful of the fiber that I buy unless I'm like very intentionally going to wear it like over top of something else.
So, and the one I'm wearing that I finished is Alho, and I keep writing it wrong. It's Alho by Johanna, and it's got like little acorns. And she did hers long sleeve with mohair added. I did mine with linen and wool.
And it's
if you feel this is the yarn I bought in Montreal when I was there, the Amelia and Philomene. And like it's really soft. Like normally with linen I'm a little like
yeah,
but it's fun. I actually like it enough that I ordered a second sweater quantity to do a different t-shirt.
Yeah, it is surprisingly like touchable. Like the linen usually bothers me, especially as I'm working with it, like before it's been washed. Like it messes with my hands. I even like it starts to get like flaky fingers, like that kind of thing. So linen is very hit or miss for me, but I was surprised by how soft that was.
I haven't blocked it or washed it or done anything with it because I'm a slacker.
I just steam blocked mine if it makes you feel better.
I did nothing. Yeah. I've worn it 4 times because I love it.
I wanted to wear it.
And I need to put on a front and back thing.
A tag.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's something that I think I'm going to start doing on all of my knits is putting like a "this is the back" tag, because like I get dressed at stupid early in the morning in the dark because I have a partner that I sleep in the same bedroom with, and I don't want to wake him up. It's stupid early in the morning if he doesn't have to be. And so when I'm getting dressed in the dark, a lot of times I walk out of my bedroom with my shirt on backwards.
All the time.
Sometimes I notice and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
And my kids are like, "Why is it shorter in the back?" And I'm like, damn it.
Right. And then it's like, pardon me while I just swoop my arms into there.
Yep.
Ugh.
I am embarrassed.
Yeah, I wonder if Kirsten, if I sent her my pack of them, would like consider that finishing, if she would sit and tack them on for me.
I bet she would.
I hate tacking on anything.
She's wonderful.
She is wonderful.
I appreciate her services.
I might bring her tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've got a swimming party tomorrow. We're
Yay.
going to crash our friend's swimming pool again.
I am bringing booze. I'm bringing peach lemonade jungle juice, and I'm very excited about it.
That sounds really good.
And also something called crack bars, which I don't love the name of because...
Oh, yeah. But they've got like pretzels and caramel and chocolate.
They don't have pretzels. They do have like a homemade caramel with graham cracker crumbs.
Oh,
and then like a chocolate butterscotch peanut butter topping.
Ooh, yeah,
and
that sounds delightful.
Very excited about them, but I don't love the name crack bars. Like I wish someone would name them something different because I feel like that's an ick.
Right. Yeah, there's a pudding tort that we make all the time at my mom's house, and it's called Better Than Sex.
That I'm fine with. I'm fine with Better Than Sex. Crack is like
I'm not.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. The implication of like the drug use, and especially a drug that has been like targeted specifically to like denigrate minorities, is just, it's real bad.
So we'll have to think of a name and rewrite the recipe for you. Think about this.
Yes, indeed. But that's our delightful plan for tomorrow. I'm very excited about it.
I am too.
It's nice to just like get out of the house. Like I love to knit at home, but there is something about like gathering with friends to do like a knit together that it just it hits differently.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, yes, I've got like two projects at the moment that feel like I can't work on them unless I have like quiet because
like
it's
focused projects.
Yeah, it's like I'm doing this Olympic beanie and this is the chart. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'll need to focus for that.
Yeah, like I can't just sit and do it. Like I have to each row keep counting, and it might get better once I can see the pattern. But right now it's terrible.
Yeah, until you have like that intuitive, like, oh, this is where this is, and you know this little section is
right. And then taking the time to figure out like starting another project, right? Like you have to wind the yarn. You have to make sure where your pattern is if you're gonna load it on your phone or your tablet or print it, or and then you have to count and cast on. Oh, by the way, you also have to have the right needles because that doesn't always happen.
I made that mistake. earlier this week, I was going to talk about my well, we've done a few things. I've done a few things. I had been on kind of a minor yarn diet where I was like, I'm not going to get anything else after I purchase this like Fua for my test knit, because it is a test knit. Like, I want to use the recommended yarn. And then we went to Madison a couple of weeks ago, and
we being you and your husband?
No, actually, me and Colleen and Julia, our mutual knitting friends.
Fun.
And it was wonderful. We went to the big gay market.
Is that when I was camping?
Yes, that was when you were camping.
Okay, well then I forgive you for going without me.
Yeah, we went to the big gay market, which was awesome. Highly recommend when they do another one, checking that out. They do it at the Wisconsin Rugby Club, and it's like all queer vendors. So it's
that's
like
awesome.
Small businesses of all queer-owned businesses. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Very cool. I got some dice there. There was some like hand-spun, hand-dyed yarn that I thought really hard about, didn't wind up getting. There's like some handmade crochet things, and it's just really lovely. So we went to that, but then we also went to Fiddlesticks Knits, which
we all love Fiddlesticks.
I love. Another queer-owned business in Madison. Strong recommend hanging out with them. And I got a sweater's quantity of this lovely stuff that I am making my Violet out of. Violet by Jessica McDonald. And it is this stuff right here. It's
yes, I was
West
looking
Yorkshire
at that.
Spinners Exquisite.
I was looking at this because I wanted it, but they didn't have the
so
color I wanted.
Soft. It is so soft. It's merino wool and silk, 80-20 split, I think. And it is, again, next to skin soft. Like, I was feeling it, and I was just like, I almost walked away from it. And this is actually our friend Julia's, like, signature color. She's usually the big, like, pink sangria burgundy kind of person. I was like, I don't want to steal your color, but I really like this. And so I wound up getting a sweater's quantity of it. So my yarn diet is like my other diets, in which they fail. But I love the construction of this. Is really interesting. I actually had to make there are no diagrams in the pattern, which I would recommend to Jessica McDonald. If I know you're a big fan and you listen to Alpaca Face all the time, Jessica. But strongly recommend putting maybe a diagram into your pattern, because as I was reading the instructions, like, you're left with kind of a, what do you call it? Like a
trapezoid.
Trapezoid, that's the word.
Sometimes it works.
Yes, you're left with a trapezoid, like, after you're done with the neck cast on, and then your increases for the sleeves, and then like the back yoke. And the next direction is something like knit, 6.5 inches from the underarm. But then my brain goes to, what's the underarm here in this trapezoid that I'm left with? Because I'm a very visual person, and I need to like see what all the pieces and parts are. So I made quite the mistake on this one. I had to I wound up picking up the arms right away, because I thought maybe it was like from the diagonal from the cast on, and that was where like the 6.5 to the underarm was. I was very mistaken. So I finished the front, finished the sleeves, then finished the front, and then wound up going back to pick up extra stitches on the back before I could join into the round. So it's easy when you have like more worked out, but when you're just left with that little trapezoid, it's like, what is what here? So I made a little diagram for my other friends who are doing a knit along on this, and I think that helped a little bit to make it more visual. So strongly recommend diagrams and patterns.
So it's got this really great, do you pick up here then? So it's got this really great seam.
Yep, that's you start with like this back yoke here with the collar, and then you knit down and increase, and then along those increases you pick up for the sleeve.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's a great pattern. It's just not like super intuitive if you don't like have a good visualization of what all the pieces and parts are. So strongly recommend if you're a pattern designer and watching this, and you're like, I need to idiot proof this. Hi, it's me, I'm the idiot. So strongly recommend diagrams with like labeling where everything is on your thing, because it helps people like me who are idiots.
It's going to be gorgeous, and it's going to be a nice like into fall.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I also got these cute little foxy needle stoppers at Fiddlesticks Knits. I love them. I love some foxen. They're one of my favorite animals.
Cute.
Not as much as otters and penguins. But
so your other project...
My other project...
I haven't actually seen in person, I don't think.
My other project I'm fighting with. So this is my topic for today that I wanted to talk about is fix it, frog it, or fuck it. So I started the Wildflowers blouse last summer, actually. And I had a couple of frog it moments because I was using the wrong yarn. Like, I tried it in straight up cotton and it was not stretchy enough. Like, it's a very, like, fitted blouse. It's kind of, picture. I have a picture. It's a very fitted blouse, and because it's fitted and because I'm a fat girl, fitted blouses need stretch. It's very kind of vintagey. It's very cute.
Oh, that is cute.
And yeah, so it's very cute.
Oh, that's super cute.
And there's a couple different sleeve styles with it too, but I'm going to do that flutter sleeve because I'm going to be playing some yarn chicken, I think, with it. Anyway, so I did it in this lovely light blue, like cotton. It was beautiful, but it was not stretchy. And I needed some stretch. So frogged that. Like, I can use that cotton for something else. I'll use it for a tank top or something that has a little more like positive ease in it. That's fine. Tried it in silk. Was not quite working and not the right texture that I was looking for, not the fabric that I wanted for this garment. Mm-hmm. So when we went on our Chicago yarn crawl last year, it was like my goal to find something that this would work in. And I found some lovely kobasi in this like deep turquoise color. And it is beautiful. And I have loved working with it. In fact, I loved it so much that I was almost done with it earlier this week. Like yesterday, this had shoulders and it had a neckline. And I wound up frogging it because I had looked back at kind of all the mistakes that I had made in the week that I had been working on it, and I could not live with them. So like from the jump, I fucked up because I didn't change my needle size. I missed the instruction where it said to change your needle size. It's very small, kind of normal print instead of bolded like you would usually see with a, hey, change your needle size here. Instead, she had like bolded the next step and then put that in smaller font. I was like, damn it. So I missed it, and I went back and looked at it later and I was like, shit. Okay, I could live with that. So I was like, one needle size down on accident, knitting the whole thing with twos from the ribbing all the way up. And
it was tiny.
It was tiny.
Your stitches are tiny.
Oh, yes. My stitches are tiny. I was like, it was a 2X. It was not that tiny.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying your stitches. Like, looking at it, the gauge was like...
Yeah. It did fit. So I was fine with it because it did fit. But then later on, I managed to fuck up in another way where I was doing the wrap and turns, and somehow the wrap did not get picked up with the stitch, and then I could not go back and fix it. And so there was like this big gap in the front of my sweater where there was a wrap and turn, like in the bust dart increases. So that was like something I was like, okay, so I had a little like extra yarn, and I went through and like threaded it through, kind of fixed that up. I was like, okay, I can kind of live with that. And then I realized that I was reading the wrong size, and I was reading a 3X instead of the 2X for part of it. And everything was like wonky. My stitch count was off because I'd started with the 2X size, and then it was like reading through completely different instructions in my increases for a 3X instead of a 2X. And I finally was like, I need to frog it. So there were a couple of like, okay, I can live with this, fuck it, I'll go on. I can live with this, fuck it, I'll go on. And then I finally hit I have to frog it point. So I tore it all out, and now I am back to ribbing stitches.
Nice.
And that's okay. That's, I have felt this way with a couple of garments where if it's livable, if I can work with it, if I'm like, I'm going to wear this anyway, it does not bother me, it's a minor thing, that's a fuck it. Like, I don't need to go back and fix it. I don't need to tear it apart. It's just, fuck it, I'm fine with it. When it gets to a point where I know I will not wear it, that's a frog it. And that happened with this garment. It happened with my little tunic dress as well, where I had it completely finished, and I was not wearing it because it was too loose around the shoulders and the pockets were too low, and I was not happy with it. Yeah. And so I went back and I ripped it completely out. So that was a frog it project. And then there are a couple of fix it projects where it's like, well, I can do a little sweater surgery on this. I just there's one that I need to fix up the neckline on because it's not quite loose enough in the neckline. The rest of it looks beautiful. But the neckline's very tight, and I don't like the way that it goes over my head. So I will need to rip out the neckline and do a different bind off on the neckline. That's a fix it. So I think that with this kind of art, with this craft, you need to have kind of your like, what can I live with mentality. Not everything has to be perfect, but it should be something that is going to be wearable. And even if, it's like, well, I know that I've made a mistake there. I can see the mistake, but there's definitely like a moment where it's like, is this a fix it, a frog it, or a fuck it?
Right.
So.
And there's also the gifted option.
Yep. That is the other one, where I have done that with a couple of sweaters too, especially my beginning, like my early sweaters.
Yeah.
Where I was like, this is a perfectly wearable sweater, but it's in a fabric that I'm not going to wear, or it just doesn't fit me quite right. I did everything right, but it wound up not being what I expected it to be. Those have been gifted or donated, given away in some way. And I don't have an F for that. But...
Right? Yeah, because I made that sweater dress and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect on my mother. It does not fit me, and it would take much more of a fix it than I'm willing to do.
Yeah, your second place sweater dress.
Second place
at State Fair.
Out of two guys.
I cannot believe there were only 2 entries. That is
I can.
deeply upsetting.
So I don't know if the first place winner watches the podcast. If she does, I'd give her $20.
Mm-hmm.
But if she doesn't, I'd
That's okay.
keep in the $20 for myself, I guess.
Yes. I hope she watches. I hope she can claim her
Wouldn't
prize.
that be fun? That would be so awesome.
I hope we get a comment like, hey, it was me.
Yeah. I've got the name, so you can't lie.
Wahaha.
But yeah, so that's exciting. I'm going to be out of town the beginning of State Fair, but I can't wait to go see my dress at State Fair.
Yes, that's lovely. I
And
wasn't
then make
sure
my
if I was
mother
going
wear it.
to knit at State Fair this year. I think that they are done accepting that, but the Knitting Guild here in Milwaukee always does like knitting shifts.
Yeah, we did
during
it
State
last
Fair,
year, and it was super fun.
Really fun last year.
I think because I missed the meeting, I missed like the window for signing up.
Well, she said it was weird. She said she was going to like reach out to the people who had done it the year before, and I never got any
Yeah, I've heard nothing.
communication about that. So I don't know. That's fine.
I've heard
It's
nothing.
no big deal. I'm fine to not, sit in a hot barn and, and knit too.
I don't know.
It was nice and cool the day that we were there, but it was rainy and gross too. So
yeah.
that was why it was cool. But State Fair is in September? Early
August.
September? August. Late August. That's right.
No.
Early
beginning
August. Early August. Sorry.
Beginning August.
Yeah,
Lauren.
sorry. I'm thinking Nebraska State Fair, which is always end of August and early
Yeah.
September. I have lived in too many states.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So this is my other summer yarn that I bought myself.
Ooh, what is that?
That's the
Oh,
Pearl
silk.
Soho cattail silk.
I love these little like fleckles here.
Yeah, it's like tweedy.
Yes, I did 100% make up
It
a
is
word.
so pretty. So
Yes.
I haven't decided. I was thinking I was going to make another Galax tank,
Mm-hmm.
the test knit that I did
so
earlier this
cute.
summer, and I was thinking it would be really fun with
Yes, the fleckles.
the fleckles. So I want to make it longer.
Yeah, because that is a very
Probably.
cropped tank top. So adding a little length is
Right. And I was thinking like I would still do, I don't know. I was trying to decide I might make the size smaller because it's a little gappy on the sides. I don't know. I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
But
I love that. And that is such a nice, I have the cattail silk as well in like a
Mhm.
wisteria kind of lighter purpley color. And it is
Yeah.
beautiful and so nice to work with. I have a tank top picked out for it.
yeah.
And I am
So that's just
excited
it.
about
So I
it.
think that's what I'm going to do once I finish these.
Love that.
Because it's still summer. I'm not ready to give up on knitting summer things.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got
Well, and in Wisconsin,
Probably
they last
5
until
sweaters
like
worth.
early fall, mid-fall, because it stays pretty toasty.
And layering is good.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have like 5 more sweater quantities. Because they're smaller quantities, right? Like
Right.
I can be like, hey, I bought 2 skeins instead of my normal 10.
I am working like exclusively on fingering projects right now, fingering
Yes.
weight projects, and hating myself for it. So I'm like, after I'm done with my violet and my wildflowers, I will probably do something in worsted, or actually I have a DK project that I have another test
Ooh,
knit
fun.
coming up. I forgot.
Good.
I'm doing the Kombu cardigan. I don't remember the designer name. I will look that up and put it in the notes. But it's very
Yeah.
cute. It's a cropped cable cardigan and it's so adorable. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
that's going to be cute.
I tried to do it in like I did not have sweaters quantity in DK weight. I have a ton of DK weight because I want to do the sea glass sweater. But I have a lot of one-offs in DK weight because I want to do the sea glass sweater.
Right.
So I had to go through all of my DK weight this week and look for a sweater's quantity of DK weight. And the only one that I had in a sweater's quantity is cotton, which is fine. I think it would have been fine in cotton.
Yeah.
Texture would have been okay. But it's also variegated orange, purple, and gray. And the most probably obnoxious colors in the history of the world, and it was not showing off the cables. Like I did a couple of cable rows and it was not showing the cables in any way, shape, or form. And that seems mean to a designer to test knit their pattern and be like, you can't see any of your hard work. So I wound up getting some Plymouth Encore from Webb's, which was like $3 a skein. And got a sweater quantity in that, like, a lovely, like, periwinkle kind of blue, light blue.
That'd be pretty.
And it will be beautiful when it comes in. I think it's supposed to be in a couple days. And I'm very excited to move from fingering weight to DK weight because, oh my God, DK takes fingering takes forever, especially on size 2 needles. I do get to move up to size 3 on this after I am done with the ribbing.
Right.
You know, my violet is at least on a size 5, so it's going a little bit faster.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing this, but like I said, the counting is stupid.
Other things that I bought while I was in Madison, we went to the Sausier, which is not in Madison technically. It's in Verona,
but also lovely.
Basically
lovely
Madison.
Big shop with a great bakery.
It's so cool. I'd never been there. That was a Colleen recommendation. Fiddlesticks was like, I wanted to go there because I knew that they were queer-owned business. I helped to fund their loan that they're getting. They're doing a social media based loan
nice.
To try to keep their shelves stocked and things through more of the year because they're pretty bare bones right now because they're a small business and they're, I think, pretty new. So they're doing I think it's called a Cavia loan or a Cavia loan, something like that through Instagram, which like has something to do with your Instagram followers. So they're like, do you have like a client base? So they judge it based on like how active your social media is. So they had some of their followers pledge money to their loan, and then if their loan gets funded, then you get your money back that you pledged. They just want to see like, do you have enough like clientele that will, you know, actually make this worth funding your loan. So anyway, I donated to that and I was like, I really want to go like check out their shop because I love all of their Instagram posts. I like their little online shop. So we got to go there. But then we went to the Sausier, which was really neat. It's actually a house. It looks like a residential home, and every like one of the bedrooms is filled with different yarn. And they have in the like foyer living roomy area, they have a cafe where they have little baked goods and coffee, and it is delightful, and strongly recommend heading up to Verona and going to the Sausier if you've not been. They had lots of things. It was hard to decide. They have a whole wall of Plucky, which was
they do
difficult to resist. I did not buy any.
I maybe bought a whole sweaters quantity of that.
They had a lot of options and a lot of fun ones. But what I wound up getting was I got these beautiful beads. I love using beads in my knitting. Laura Nelkin turned me onto that. And these are beautiful beads. I'm so excited to use them. I think I'm going to make another pair of bottoms up socks with them. And that's a beaded brioche sock pattern by Laura Nelkin. And I love it. It was actually the very first pair of socks that I knitted. I had knit an individual sock in the past and then got mad and threw it away. And because I'd never done like a heel turn before. It was when I was a baby knitter. And I just got really mad at it. I finished one sock and then put it away forever and never finished the other sock and wound up throwing away the first sock. Anyway, so Laura Nelkin's bottoms up sock, which are beaded and brioche, were my first pair of socks. Wow. I'd never done beading or brioche before, and I'd never knit a pair of socks in the past.
Oh God, Lauren.
So if you ever wonder what's wrong with my brain, I am a masochist. But in addition to that, I got... This inspired my yarn purchase, actually. I have this, and I've seen these on Instagram, these Pacific Knit Co. doodle decks.
Yeah.
And I saw they had their spring deck, they had their autumn deck, they had like their general deck and something else, winter maybe. But these are so cool, and they're like a challenge for people who are like, well, I don't want to like go onto Ravelry and buy a specific pattern, or like I like color work, but I don't know necessarily what to do. So it like gives a little like how to. It gives you a general idea for like what a cowl looks like. Gives you some like schematics, and then it has like these different color work charts. And you can throw a bunch of them together into a cowl, or I assume a sweater. So they've got like a little buffalo plaid.
Do they
have
all
little
have
teacups, coffee
like
cups.
the same number of
Leaves.
stitches per chart?
I believe so. Yeah, it looks like they're all 24 by 15.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, you can like layer it in different ways, and they're so cute. And I love to like challenge myself with, you know, doing new things. They have like a little. This is their autumn deck, so kind of spoopy. They have a little spider. They're very cute, and I am so excited. So yeah, the directions they give are really nice. They give a standard cowl and an infinity cowl schematic, so like just to get you started. And then there are some like really decorative, like more complicated patterns. And then there are like some really simple kind of like fill in the gaps patterns as well.
And I noticed Cream City has them now too.
Oh, nice.
So they've gotten them in. I didn't look at what boxes they had. Because aside from the color work that I'm doing right now, I don't normally do a lot of color work.
Fair.
But yeah, some of those are really, really cute.
Yeah, so that inspired my yarn purchase, because I was like, oh, I can make this cool cowl with all these like different colors and different patterns. So I got all.
And is that what you're going to add beads to as well, or no?
Probably not. I think I'm just going to stick with the socks for those for now.
Okay.
I think I might need larger beads for this because this is DK weight. This is Juniper Moon Farm, Patagonia, organic merino.
Gorgeous.
And it's all in these like lovely autumn colors.
That's really fun.
So like I've got a nice little burnt orange and some brown for the base color. Thinking maybe some mushrooms with the red and leaves for the green. Cute. I am so excited about it. So yeah, I like that. I didn't initially have a plan to buy yarn there. But I found that deck and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do all the things. And I'm really excited about my little autumnal cowl that I'm going to make up and doodle.
That's really fun.
So yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm making my hat for my travels, but and I still for the Make It.
Oh, yeah.
Our yarn shop had
I finished
a summer challenge called Make It, and if you make something from 4 different categories.
We talked about this last time, if you remember.
So if you do that, you get a pizza.
And I got mine. I was very excited. I made a pair of yoga socks. I made a headband. I made my pollinator tank for my test knit. And also this top would have counted. Nope, it wouldn't have because I didn't get the yarn from Cream City. So I have made lots of things, but not necessarily with yarn from Cream City. And then I made a little shawlette, a one skein shawl. All with yarn purchased from that shop. And I have a $20 gift certificate to get a pizza.
Yeah, so I am significantly behind Lauren as usual. I have done a headscarf.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of it. But it's cute and it just like ties on top. And
itty bitty ascot that you did?
Nope.
Okay.
It is, I forget. It's the same one that Corinne made, so I can look that up in a second.
Cute.
And then I made a Sophie scarf. And
very cute. Did you make those out of the same yarn?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I thought so. They looked similar in your pictures.
Because it was
so
left over from my tank top.
Yeah, that's fine. I just was curious.
Yeah, so I just whipped them up, and I still have a little bit left, but probably not enough to do socks. But I'm gonna make some something.
Yay!
A something socks. I don't know what yet.
I made yoga socks. They took like, I don't know, 3 hours, and they were stupid easy. I should have made them 2 at a time, but didn't. So it would have taken me less time if I'd done them both at the same time. Right.
It's not the Wool and Pine cottage hair accessories, because I was going to do that too, because that just came out this summer.
I do love a wool and pine pattern.
Right.
I did a nice little like chevron-y headband, and it's another like it's a tied headband too, and it's got a little like chevron pattern on the side. It's very cute.
This set from Wool and Pine has a hair scrunchie as well.
Fun!
I thought that would be really fun.
Love that.
So one of these days I will make a hair scrunchie.
Yes. Oh, I could use my silk to make a hair scrunchie. That would be really neat. Not as much stretch in that, but like it is better for your hair.
Right? Yeah, that would be really good. I've got a picture of it. A horrible picture of myself.
Adorable picture.
But I didn't write down what the name of the pattern was. Yeah,
Oh, that's
see.
okay.
Oh, just a little head scarfie.
It's very cute.
It's cute. Corinne made one, and I copied her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, lots of knitting adventures. I've been doing a lot of like social knitting this summer, which has been lovely because I miss out on that during the school year because I'm just too fucking burnt out to do anything except for like once a month maybe. We have so many weekly knit togethers and things that groups of people will do, but they're all like 20 minutes away from my house, and by the time I get home I'm like, I just want pajamas and couch now, because I give a lot of energy to my job. So I've been like, I feel like I've been sort of making up for that this summer.
And we're in opposite land, so I'm like, ugh, I have no time to myself. There's all these people in my house.
Yes.
But still managing some.
Yeah, you came to Cream City Knitting After Dark last Friday.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was lovely. I did that last Friday. I feel like I've been like in recovery mode. I've been doing like weekly date nights with my husband and Julia and her husband.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Like I have had to do like, it's always later than I normally go to bed. So I get home at like 10 o'clock and then sleep until like 10 o'clock the next day because I peopled too hard.
Yeah.
The introvert hangover is very real. And it is a difficult thing. But yes, hanging outside on someone's deck or by someone's pool or, in the middle of a yarn shop and just chatting and knitting is also very healing, and strongly recommend that with your friends or strangers. Strangers is fun. I was knitting it at random last date night on last Thursday, and the owner came out, or one of the gentlemen who seemed like he was in charge, a manager or an owner. It's like, I love that. My wife is a knitter. And she knits everywhere. So and like, I think that's adorable. We went out to trivia at Company Brewing on Monday night, and there were 2 other women there knitting as they were playing trivia along with me and Julia. And I was like, I want to go say hi to them, but also I'm too embarrassed to do that because they were all
I wish I
hanging out with friends. And
I would not have hesitated.
Yes. Well, that's what I said. Julia was like, we should recruit them to the guild. And I was like, if only Jenna was here.
Yeah, I'd be like, hi.
Hey, I noticed
Speaking of recruitment, we need to find Archer.
Archer. Yes, he was adorable. They. Oh, sorry.
I looked.
Apologies.
Yeah, sorry.
They were
Archer.
Adorable. And I love them. And
yeah, I totally...
I want to get to know them better.
I totally Instagram stalked them.
Are they local?
Find out. They are, I believe.
Awesome.
I was going to say, I'm going to see if I can find them now because I don't remember.
Yes. So that was Knit After Dark at Cream City. They do a monthly event where they do a Friday night. They keep the shop open a little bit later and we hang out and we knit, and it is delightful. And there was a new face there that I had not seen the last time.
And young.
And yes, they were very young. They were like, oh, I just want to hug them, the baby. Probably early 20s?
That's what I was guessing, and talked about college.
Yep.
And was doing some gorgeous sweater with teeny tiny gauge.
Yes. They do beautiful work.
I can't find Archer. Because, I made sure I looked up Archer, right away. Because I didn't want to forget.
And they were so sweet. They would not accept a chair at first. They're like, no, I can stand. That's fine. No, I'm good.
Yes.
It's like, honey, just sit down. Come join us. Come hang out with the little old ladies that, I say old, but, 40s, 50s.
Right.
Most of us are between our, early 30s and 50s, I think, that kind of hang out there. So, not that old.
Right? Okay, and now...
But when you're in your 20s, I imagine that seems like old.
Oh, I remember. I think this is... Yeah, Archer Moore. Archer! I thought
Are
I
you
was
friends
following.
with them? No?
I must be following from the other one.
Hmm.
Weird. Or maybe I requested and they told me no.
That's a possibility.
Right.
No! I
Darn
don't want you to stop me. No, they were doing some beautiful work, and I wanted to ask them more, but I was not sitting next to them. So.
Right. So anyway, I've requested Archer.
Yes.
I want to be your friend.
And I want them to join the guild.
Right? We need more diversity at the guild.
We need younger folks at the guild, too.
Yeah. That's kind of what I meant by diversity.
Yes.
Not 85.
Yes, not 85 would be great. I'm really hoping that we can start scheduling things maybe into a little bit later, or like on a different day of the week where it's not quite so intrusive.
Well, and it's like, I feel like it's very, like, once a month, because I've been really busy. So I haven't been able to make it to any of the other events.
Right.
That Kelly's doing.
Oh, yeah, knit in the Borner Botanical Gardens is coming up soon.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to make it to that. I want to do the walk-in knit at the
Sheep and Wool.
Sheep and Wool.
I have to check the day on that. I might be interested in that. Unsure.
Yeah, that's on the Saturday.
Okay,
at
so
like
I
4.
would be able to manage that.
Yeah, it's like Saturday at 4, I think.
Yeah,
it's
because it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Is
Yeah.
like the main days of that, and that didn't work for a teacher.
No, and it's also like my kid's first week of school, and so it's always chaotic.
Yep.
I don't think
that's
I
my
made
first
it.
week with kids, so
I didn't make it to Sheep and Wool last year.
yeah, it's a bad time of the year.
But it's so gorgeous.
Teacher
out there.
life. I'm very excited I would like to go this year, because I didn't make it last year because I did SSK last year, and I went to Nebraska to visit my family last year, and those were expensive trips. And also I didn't go to Nebraska last year to finish my family. My family came here, and then we did Chicago Yarn Crawl last year. Another very expensive trip.
That was very fun.
So I was like, do I need more yarn? Nope, sure don't. Do I have the energy to do this the first week of school? Nope, sure don't. So I'm hoping that this year I will get to go and experience the Sheep and Wool Festival. And yeah, it's a bad time to be a teacher too, because we don't get paid over the summer. So that's like, I think the week before I get my first paycheck. So
Right.
I've been without a paycheck for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. And I don't have the money to spend on nice wool and fiber and things.
Yeah. But it's a good time. And
Yes.
It's nice out. And so if I get to walk and knit and be competitive, my family thinks it's ridiculous.
I think it's wonderful. Like, I walk and knit anyway. Like, I walk down the
Same.
halls and knit as I'm, like, on my way to indoor recess duty. I knit while I'm doing indoor recess duty. I
Same.
knit at outside recess duty sometimes, too. And my kids will come up to me and they ask, what are you doing? And then I get to teach them how to knit. I have
Yes.
kindergartners that know how to make knit stitches because they ask me what I'm doing. And they're like, can I try? And the answer is always yes, or almost always yes. I did not let them knit on my test knit that I was doing outside. So it's like, no, this is actually for somebody else. And I don't, want to make any mistakes, and I don't want to mess it up for them.
Yeah. Well, I taught Isaac to knit while we were in Montreal. And Sage wants to learn how to knit, and my niece wants to learn how to crochet. I'm like, could you learn how to knit? But I don't even know if she knows the difference. But also my other friend's kid, who's 12, learned how to crochet this week.
Love that.
So it's really exciting. Like, there's a lot of more hands-on kiddos happening.
Yes, I love that it's like more kids are getting interested in it. Like, it really is just representation. Like, the clothes that they wear are often knit or crocheted. And so they see me like making this fabric and like, oh, that looks like my sweater. That looks like my hat. Like, it's very cool that they get to, see how that's actually being made without, going to a store and being like, oh, I can just buy this for $5 because,
well, and I
fast
learned
fashion.
to crochet from my grandma when I was a kid, but she didn't know how to read a pattern, so it didn't work with the way my brain works. So when I learned to knit later and could read a pattern, like now I could go back and read a pattern and learn how to crochet again.
I need written instructions for crochet. I haven't figured out how to read like the diagram patterns yet.
Yeah.
Like, I have a general idea of how they work, but it's too like it's too much for my brain right now. I will eventually get there.
Right.
But I can do the written instructions for crochet. And I know the basic like single crochet, double crochet, and the little loopy guys. I know how to do those. But I also like the little beard that is on your gnome, little, like big loops.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So I know how to do some things with crochet. I am certainly not an expert crochet artist yet.
Right.
Corinne could teach me.
Right. Well, and
She is
I
a
don't
brilliant
like,
crochet artist.
yes. And I don't like taking time away from my knitting because I've got too many things that I want to do. So it's like stopping that to relearn crochet is just like,
Yes, that's
It's
my
a lot.
issue with spinning right now too. It's like I have too many things I want to finish with my knitting. And that is kind of what I'm hyper focused on right now. I've noticed that my brain kind of transitions between these things. Like I took 2 full weeks like off of knitting because I was playing Zelda because that was my
Yes.
hyperfixation at that time.
love
For a while it was and this was partly because my wrist was subluxated as well, but like I took a couple of months off of knitting last year because my wrist was so fucked up, and so all I was doing was like diamond dot painting.
oh, that's awesome.
Great for like decompressing and de-stressing
Yeah.
and calming your brain. It's that same like idea of repetitive motion and like kind of, you know, that meditative tediousness that knitting gives, but
Without hurting
didn't
your wrist.
mess up my wrist because my wrist was like minorly dislocated. That's a fun realization after the fact.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
It's like, oh, I have hypermobile joints. That's what's wrong with me.
Amongst other things.
Yes, but it explains a
Look,
whole lot.
I have lace.
Yay, lace!
It's getting there.
You did it. Yeah, I'm on stockinette for my violet now, but I get to go to the lace part after I'm done with like this 7 inches of
Right.
body stuff.
Well, and it's so funny. I'm making this hat, and I'm like, I don't wear hats. I hate the feeling of having them on my head.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I don't really wear. That is something I also want to talk about. Like all these things that I make and then never wear. What do I do with them? I have 8 million shawls. I have hats out the wazoo. I have cowls because I love the way they look on other people.
Right.
What do you do with those kinds of knits where it's like, I have made these, I planned to wear them. I don't necessarily want to give them away, like just to anybody, but I also
Right.
don't necessarily know anyone that would like them as a gift.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise,
'Cause I don't
put
wanna
that
just-
in my make a priority to wear it.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be your goal this year. Like, hey, I made myself these things and I need to wear it at least twice or find someone else who loves it.
Yes.
Or wear it twice and by wearing it, find someone who loves it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I'd be
really
like,
struggle with that.
Good. I'm glad you like it. I'm taking it off because it's driving me nuts.
Yes.
Twitch.
Yes. I love cowls. I don't like things around my neck.
Right.
I love the way they look on other people, but I have a really short neck too.
Well, and also you were saying, like, if the texture of things is bothering you, that might be something where it's like when you knit it, it wasn't a problem, but now it is.
That could be a fun thing to do, like, as a, I don't know, not necessarily like a gift giving kind of thing for either our little group
Like a
or the
knit
guild.
trade.
But yeah, like a trade, like bring in something that you don't wear, that you made and you loved,
Right.
but you don't wear it anymore, and then let somebody like pick it up and love it. And
Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
which could be, you know, iffy with sweaters and things because everyone's a different size, but like,
right.
you know, like that way people get to decide like, oh yeah, this does fit me. They can do like a little try on, and then
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I think it would be a
Yeah,
great
that
idea.
and the what was it, a yarn library?
Yes,
like a
the
little
yarn
free library.
I love that idea.
Yeah, someone on Instagram had put like a little free library, but it was like
Fiber stuff.
fiber stuff, knitting supplies, that kind of thing. It was really cute.
The person I think was putting in crochet hooks, which just adorable. And what a great way to like spread the craft to other people, because like I know
Yeah.
a lot of people, this is a very like, it's kind of elitist. It's kind of an elitist industry. You know, there are yarns that are, you know, 100% acrylic and fairly cheap. But if you want to make a sweater, if you want to make a blanket, it's going to cost quite a lot. And so things like a little free library is a great way to, you know, start people on a new craft if they've never done it before and they're like, I don't want to spend, you know, even the $3 and $10 it would take for a set of needles or whatever.
Right.
You know,
Well, and that's
I
one
can't
of the
afford
things
that.
Fiddlesticks does too, is they have a lending library.
Mhm.
So if you're in the Madison area, you can go there and get started, or instead of having to buy, you know, a new needle size, they might have it that you can borrow for a project.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think more places should do that. And, you know, like if you know someone personally who's like, yeah, I'm a knitter, if you want to borrow this set of needles and this yarn or whatever, like that's great, but not everybody has that. So the idea of like a little free library where people can just be like, hey, you know, I have this Red Heart yarn that is in perfect condition, but I don't use it anymore because now I'm a yarn snob. Hi, it's me again.
Well, and our guild has been so generous lately. Like people keep bringing in de-stash.
Yes.
And some of it has been delightfully lovely stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sweater quantities, just projects that they didn't want to finish.
Yeah.
Yarn that they bought that's been in their stash that they're just not excited about. Like it's been really just great.
And it's, I mean, high quality yarn. I mean, sometimes it's hand dyed, sometimes it's like, oh, that's 100% merino. You know, like it's fancy ass yarn. But again, like that's something that, you know, people in the knitting guild are probably already pretty established knitters that are already buying the fancy ass yarn.
Some of us, but I think there's new knitters as well that really benefit by it. Like
Absolutely.
if they get there
Absolutely.
in time.
So that's a plug for joining the guild.
Heyo.
Come join us and take advantage of our lovely, generous humans who bring their shit to de-stash there.
Right. And I'm totally a pusher about it just because I can be, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of benefit to having that kind of a community.
There's a lot of good that can be done in a knitting community, especially with, you know, the things that we can make, the things that we can provide. I plan on breaking down an ass load of my plastic bags and making
Ooh, I know, I'm excited for that
yarn to make mats for people who are unhoused. I think that would be a great thing to do for charity.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
As a guild.
Yeah.
And you can do, you know, pet things for the Humane Society as well with Plarn. Like, hey, you know, this little doggo needs a pet bed, and, you know, yeah, I think that those are great ideas as well. So there's a lot of like community good that can be done by being part of a knitting community, because we have the ability to create things for people who need them, which I think is a wonderful thing.
And in a bigger way than even just, you know, us doing it ourselves as a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
I said, woo, I'm on row 10.
Good job. So,
I'm like, oh, I'm such a mess.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So that's what I have for this week. I don't
Me
know if there's
too.
much else to discuss, but I feel like I've done a lot of the talking today.
Yeah,
I usually just kind of sit and because you usually have more to say than me.
Oh, I know.
Not this week. This week I've been yakking.
Yeah, that's because you've had relaxing knitting time. I've had, Jesus Christ, this is expensive. Why do I have to keep spending money? Why do I have to keep driving? Why is there so much traffic? Yeah.
Yes. Oh God, the traffic here was awful.
Yeah, it's really bad.
So much construction.
So much.
It is construction season in Wisconsin.
But anyway, tomorrow we shall pool and relax and finish. Yes, what do you got?
I forgot to show off. My mother-in-law loves me. My little penguin pins.
They are so cuties.
So, very excited about those. I have them on my knitting bag. So.
Yeah, I need to find buttons for my sweater today.
Yay! Buttons. Katrinkles has really cute buttons.
I don't want Katrinkles buttons. They need to be like goth buttons.
Okay, fair enough.
They need to be like
not sparkly.
I couldn't find like actual little like crow skull shaped
Oh, that
buttons.
would be really cute buttons.
I've got hair ponies that have them, so I could use those and like sew those on maybe. But I feel like it might be hard to get them through the buttonhole. Mine has just like black and white like hidden in their buttons.
I'm thinking like maybe just like autumnally kind of themed, like
Yeah. I don't know.
bones. Bone buttons.
That would be really fun.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's my goal today is I have to find buttons so that I can finish it, and then I'm gonna wrap it in like the sparkliest, like girliest, like super happy.
Not her vibe at all.
Right. And I'm gonna give it to her, and she's gonna be like,
oh my god, what
Right.
did you get me?
yeah.
I love it. I love everything about that. Oh, and the other
Nice.
thing I was going to show off is my yarny glasses. I
Yeah.
got my new pair eyewear that
They
is
are
yarn.
So cute.
I was bummed because they had like a little stockinette themed one when I
Oh,
first got my glasses, my pair of glasses, and they were sold out when I went to go get them. It was very sad.
And
So
they
I
ever
did
come
not get
back
my
in?
stockinette stitch ones. I don't think they'll come back in, but maybe we'll see. So I jumped on the yarn one right away because I was like, me.
Love it.
So.
All right. I'm gonna hit stop. Lauren's gonna type in information and
All of the things we talked about today.
and all the people so that they find us. Ha ha.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.